The Louie T Network is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to this very impromptu and very disappointing installment of the Command Post Live. You know what it is. Post up, take command. I, of course, am your set man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Almost dressed in all black like the Omen, which means one of two things. Either we just took one on the chin, or I'm here to report some bad news. And this is not great news. It's not terrible news. I'd be lying if I said it was unexpected. Literally, we heard from Adam Schefter about maybe a week or two ago. And he said that there are several buttons that Terry McLaurin has that he can push that he hasn't yet pushed. And he said if this thing continues in the direction that it was going at that time, eventually he would press one of those buttons. So here we are. Fast forward to the last day of the month, and Terry McLaurin has requested a trade, and this has been confirmed by every beat reporter covering this team. It has gone national, and he wants a trade out of Washington. Now, I'm not going to overreact. Here is my stance on all of this. And I'm pretty much in lockstep with our guy Ari here, who writes, considering all the positive momentum Washington had last year and how important Terry McLaurin has been to the team, it's genuinely shocking that we've reached this point. Just stunning. And so that's basically my sentiments, is that, and I've told you this numerous times, the thing about this Terry situation that is very, very frustrating, which is why I was so dismissive of this situation, is because I'm like, we've had too much positivity. We've got too much momentum that we've built. You don't want that to go by the wayside. We had no distraction. Everything has been perfectly set up for us to capitalize on the momentum that we built last year and ride that into this upcoming season. And the one obstacle that stood in the way of this happening was Terry McLaurin getting his extension. And I said, oh, don't worry about it. They'll get it done in mid-July. Oh, don't worry about it. They'll get it done before the start of training camp. Oh, don't worry about it. He'll be here after a 3 or 4 day holdout. They'll get it done, right? Now he's holding in, and there's still no progress. And what ultimately felt like they'll figure it out, these two sides will come together, they'll get something done, it's starting to feel like maybe something won't get done. And I've never really entertained that thought because it's Terry. Like, what are we doing? Why is this not done already? And it's really frustrating because, like, him requesting a trade isn't the end of the world. Like, just because he requests a trade doesn't mean he gets traded. Okay. Plenty of guys have requested trades. Did we not remember that just 4 months ago, Myles Garrett requested a trade? 6 months ago, Myles Garrett requested a trade and then promptly signed an extension to stay in Cleveland 3 weeks later. So these things happen all the time. Brandon Ayuk requested a trade, was even this close to getting traded to New England and said, I don't want to go there. Then he ended up back in San Francisco on a long-term deal. Deebo Samuel requested a trade out of San Francisco. 3 weeks later, he's got a brand new deal. I could keep going in these instances. Lamar Jackson requested a trade out of Baltimore when he was on the franchise tag, and they didn't want to give him the deal at that time. He ended up signing a long-term deal to stay in Baltimore. These things are not uncommon. It's a part of the process. The frustrating part for me is I'm not shocked that Terry requested a trade. He's frustrated. He's been frustrated. He feels disrespected. There's a huge gap between how much he thinks he's worth and how much the team is willing to pay him. I'm not shocked that he requested a trade. I am disappointed as a fan that we're even here having this conversation. That is what I am. That is the emotion that I feel. I am disappointed because we shouldn't be here having this conversation about that guy. And you can sit here and talk about his age, this, that, and the third. There is nothing that Terry McLaurin has done that indicates his game and the level of play is going to drop off anytime soon. People are like, well, if he signs an extension, it doesn't start until his age 31. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? At the end of the day, if Terry McLaurin's play falls off, there should be an exit strategy. That's why you have contracts. That's why you have language in the contracts. That's why you set them up a certain way. There is a way that you can set this deal up so that you get what you want and he gets what he wants. And everybody walks away happy. And they have to find that happy medium. And I don't understand why it's taking as long as it's taking. Why are both sides so rigid and they can't come to some sort of agreement? This is very frustrating because in an otherwise flawless offseason, we're staring at something that could bring the foundation of what we've built crumbling down this season. Not like overall, like we still got Jaden Daniels. Like, let's not go crazy here, right? We still got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We got one of them ones, okay? So that's not changing. We still got the best quarterback in the division, the best quarterback in the conference, and one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We're still going to be a good football team. You're not a Super Bowl contending team if Terry McLaurin isn't here. Period. End of discussion. You don't have a number one receiver. You don't have a chance to win a chip. This is not Buffalo. Okay. So you're not going to, I think they led the league in forced turnovers last year. Like, unless you're going to do some shit like that, you can't get away with what they got away with last year. Unless your quarterback plays at an MVP level, which our quarterback is capable of. But again, why put yourself in that position when you got a guy that is capable of helping you get to where you ultimately want to go? You just got to figure out how to make it so everybody is happy. This has gone way too far. You would have never gotten me to think that we would be here having this conversation at this time about that player. It's crazy to me. It is absolute nuts. I am flabbergasted that I am here having this conversation with you about Terry McLaurin and why he's not. I got a full extension, and there's people that try to rationalize this shit. Oh, well, he's going to be this age. I don't give a shit about none of that. It'd be one thing if Terry showed signs of falling off last year. Quite the contrary. He made his first all-pro team last season. He's coming off the most touchdowns he's ever had in his career in one season, setting the franchise record. He's not falling off of a cliff at age 30. He's going to still be playing good football at age 31. Probably still going to be playing at a very high level at age 32. Why are we having this conversation? Pay the man his money. This is ridiculous. And they're not going to trade him. They're not going to trade him. They're not moving Terry McLaurin. They've already said that. I believe them. They know he's too important to what they're building here. He's not going anywhere. He'll be on this team this year. But for the sanctity of the locker room, this is the first time that we've felt like, or at least I can't speak for you. I won't speak for anybody else. I don't like doing that. I'll speak for myself. It's the first time that I, as a fan, with this organization, this new iteration, Josh Harris, Adam Peters, Dan Quinn and company, Lance Newmark, with this group, this is the first time that I felt like some of the things that they've said to us are lip service. And I'm all for doing things the way you feel like they need to be done. We asked for a guy like Adam Peters to come in here and conduct himself as an adult and run the business the way that it should. And that is what he is doing. And this is a move that he feels like he needs to do. And he needs to do it in the way that he's doing it. I'm just disappointed because if you say that Terry McLaurin does everything the right way, he does everything that you ask of him. He's the ultimate teammate. He's the ultimate professional. He's a great guy on the field, and he's an even better guy off the field. If you say that he's all of these things, if you say that he's your leader, you can't look at the rest of the locker room and then say, yeah, he did it the exact way we want it done, to a T. He is what we call a commander. He fits the commander standard to a T, to an effing T. If there's a picture of commander standard, it's Terry McLaurin. If there's a picture of someone that should look like a commander and gets the commander tag, the picture should be a silhouette of Terry McLaurin. You can't look at every guy in that locker room and say, that's how we want you to do it, but yet you don't want to pay the man. The two don't make sense. That's what I struggle with. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. And again, I want this organization to do what they feel like is in the best interest of the team. And if Terry's asking for $35 million, that's not in the best interest of the team. I'm aware. But Terry's also worth more than $26 million. He's worth more than $27 million. He's worth more than $28 million. And there's got to be some middle ground that you can get to where this makes sense for everybody. Whether you got to push up the guaranteed money, like there's got to be some way that you can bridge that gap, get this man his extension, get him back into the locker room, fully in the locker room, not on some pup-less bullshit hold in, but actually get him back on the field, get this thing done and put it behind us so we can go play football. I am shocked. Not that Terry McLaurin requested a trade. I kind of knew this was coming at some point if things didn't improve. I was hoping that eventually I saw that thing come across my phone and I thought, yes, they got the deal done. No, I was not expecting to pull the full comment down and see that he requested a trade. I thought they had gotten a deal done. My heart, it raised up and then it dropped. I am not shocked that he requested a trade. I am shocked that we are here on July 31st. When the Hall of Fame game is about to take place and we should be all excited and elated that football is back, I am shocked that I'm here talking about a guy in Terry McLaurin who has been the standard in Washington through the darkest of dark days. Now that we finally come through and we see the light, I am shocked that we're sitting here talking about him not having an extension by now. That I am shocked about. I'm going to reiterate this. I still think this ends in a Terry McLaurin long-term deal here in Washington. Nothing has changed for me. Nothing has changed. Has my level gone up? Yeah, of course it has. I'm probably at a 4 now. I was at a 2 before. Probably at a 4. But ultimately, Terry holds no leverage in this situation. He's under contract. Excuse me. He's going to play football, whether he gets the deal or not. Jamar Chase was pissed off last year. Thought he was going to get a deal, didn't get a deal. Guess what? He played last season, without the deal and then got his deal in the offseason. I'm not telling you that's what's going to happen with Terry McLaurin because ultimately, if there's no deal met, then Terry becomes a free agent next year. I've said this already, and people are like, what if the team doesn't franchise tag him next year? Okay, go ahead, knock yourself out. I highly doubt that the team doesn't franchise tag him if a deal isn't met. This is what you got to understand. If they didn't want him, if they didn't value him, we wouldn't even be in this position. They would have traded him already. We've seen Adam Peters work. He could have fetched, I think, a first-round pick for Terry McLaurin in the offseason. There were desperate teams like New England, for instance, that would have given up a first-round pick to acquire Terry McLaurin. There are still other teams that are desperate that may be willing to give up a first-round pick. But at the end of the day, we're not in a position to trade Terry McLaurin and still be competitive at the level that we want to be. You're too late in the game for that. At the end of the day, Terry McLaurin is going to be here in 2025, I think, and beyond. But if they didn't want him, if they didn't value him, if they didn't want him here long term, we wouldn't be having this discussion. This wouldn't be an issue because they would have already made it clear to him that there are no negotiations to be had. People keep talking about, well, they may not want him past this year. If that's the case, then why are we even talking about giving him a deal in the first place? They clearly want him. The question is, how bad? Right now, it feels like not bad enough. Not bad enough. And something has to give. And I feel like both sides need to find a middle ground. You know, I think Terry has dug his heels in, maybe a little bit deeper than they should be dug in at this point. He needs to somehow find a way to come to the table and figure out what's a good number, what makes sense for him. And the team needs to then say, you know what? All right, we'll meet you halfway. We'll figure out something that makes sense for us. And if you got to structure the deal a certain way, maybe he doesn't get the AVV that he's looking for, but he gets more guaranteed money than XYZ, right? Like, there's got to be a way that you can figure this out. It's just, right now, it's frustrating because we shouldn't be here having this conversation about that player after the season we just had, the offseason we have just turned in, and the summer that we're having. We shouldn't be having this conversation. We have Super Bowl aspirations, and here we are talking about our star wide receiver upset, wanting a trade because we can't figure out a way to extend him. Make it make sense. Never thought, in my wildest dreams, I never thought I would be having this type of conversation about a Terry McLaurin extension. I just never thought we would get to this point. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, negotiations are tough. Rarely are they smooth. Rarely are they this linear, start and straight to the finish line, easy breezy, process. It's rarely that. Negotiations and contract negotiations especially are nasty. They're nasty. And they often turn bitter. That's what's happening now. But as we've seen many, many, many times, a lot of these end in a happy ever after, right? A happy ending for both sides, and we move on like it didn't happen. We've seen social media's, accounts scrubbed clean. We've had trade requests. We've seen them all. And a lot of times the player still ends up with the same team on a long-term deal. So I'm not tripping. I'm just disappointed. That's really where I'm at right now. Just disappointed. He's not getting traded. He holds no leverage in that regard. What is he going to do? Sit the season out? No, that's not who he is, and that's not what he's about. He's going to play ball whether he gets this extension or not. But he's frustrated. And maybe this trade request forces the team to reconfigure its strategy. I'll be honest, our general manager doesn't seem like he's the type that's going to be, strong-armed into anything he doesn't want to do. So I don't know if this is going to have the effect. Just like the Eastern Motors, scrum didn't have the effect that I think he thought it would and wanted it to. All it did was appeal to the fan base, which is cool, but Adam Peters doesn't give a shit about the court of public opinion, clearly, which I love, by the way. Business is done behind closed doors, not in the public eye. So I don't know if this is going to expedite the process at all. Only one way to find out. And Terry pushed the button. Like the girl on Rush Hour. God, go ahead, push the goddamn button. He just did. Now let's see what happens. Anyway, let's get to the comment section real quick and we'll get you out of here. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Captain Obvious writes, shout out to Buddy Sunset Claus Baker. Yeah, Buddy's in over his damn head. That's what's going on. We talked about this. Rio has talked about it numerous times. Buddy's in over his damn head. And honestly, I don't see Terry ditching him now, but it probably would be in Terry's interest, best interest, to find new representation. This deal could probably get done if Terry found a different agent and representative to work on this deal. I bet you there's a way that this could get done. And I think Buddy is just effing shit up, to be honest with you. But I think we are at the point of no return with Buddy Baker. Doesn't seem like Terry's going to bail on his guy. So it is what it is. AJ Meehan, thank you for being a member for 36 months. Salute to you. And congrats on your 3-year Annie, who writes, Myles Garrett situation. Terry isn't going anywhere. Again, we've seen so many instances of guys requesting a trade. We literally joked about that on the Commanders Kings channel a week ago about Myles Garrett with the most elaborate and deceptive trade requests we've ever seen, right? Man printed up a whole entire trade request. And as Rio said, the man penned it in quill with a quill, right? I mean, the shit was gorgeous. Went on a full NFL press run talking about how he would fit with this team and that team and how this team could use an edge rusher, only to just sign a new extension with the Browns 3 weeks later. Like, shit happens all the time. So, again, I'm with you. Terry isn't going anywhere. It's not a great look. It's disappointing that we're even here. CJ the Great, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Terry isn't going anywhere. Hashtag HTTR. I agree. I agree. Rob Yu, been a member for 47 months. Salute to you. Who writes, almost at the 4-year anniversary, Annie. And I don't think anybody's made it there yet. So shout out to you, Rob Yu. What up, Lou? What's up, Rob? Deep down, I thought this thing would get worked out at some point. And I still believe it will. But I know where you're going with this. Are we at the point of no return? No, we are not. If this ends, and I pray it's not, what are the replacement options? There aren't any right now. There aren't any replacement options. There are no number one wide receivers just sitting there to be, I mean, I've heard people throw out like Amari Cooper and guys like that. Nobody wants Amari Cooper at this stage of his career. Like, you got to understand like where we are. We're in training camp. And so it's one thing to go out and get a guy that might be able to come in and produce like a number 2 or a number 3 or 4th option. You're talking about a number 1 wide receiver. Those don't grow on trees. And you sure as hell don't get 30, 2, 3, 4-year-old guys that, unlike the one we have here that's looking for a deal, guys that show signs of being washed, like Amari Cooper. Who wants that shit? I don't. Honestly, I'm shocked that we're here. I thought it would have been worked out by now. So I like you, felt like this thing would be resolved and we wouldn't even be in this predicament, but here we are, right? Here we are. I'm shocked that we're here. Not because Terry requested a trade, That was the next natural step in the progression if things didn't improve from a contractual negotiation standpoint, was for him to press the button. And he pressed the button. I'm shocked that we're even here, that this deal didn't get done in May or early June or mid-July, late July even. And maybe Terry's plan all along was, if something doesn't change by the time we get to the end of the month, I'm requesting a trade. Here we are. John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, JP, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, should have paid Terry before camp, plain and simple. To hell with the 49ers way of doing business. Again, I kept bringing it up to you guys because I feared it would rear its ugly head. I was hoping that this would be a little bit different, but it's hard to ask a tiger to change its stripes. It's hard to ask a leopard to change its spots. Adam Peters came from an organization that did business this exact way. And so I am not shocked that we are here having this discussion at this time with this group because of the way they've done business in the past. I'm not shocked. I'm just shocked we've gotten to this point with this player at this time, because it just didn't feel like this was something that it ever would come to, right? But every situation is different, right? If Terry was just in camp, going about his business, the same thing that ultimately may happen might have happened anyway, right? Like, let's say Terry came into camp, said, hey, I'm gonna just let the situation play itself out and see what happens next year. And then we get to September and Terry got a new deal. It might be the same way that it happens with him doing all of this holding in shit. We may ultimately get to a point where he still gets a deal done. It's just different ways to go about it. He chose to hold out, then hold in, and now wants to trade. He doesn't want to risk the final big contract of his career. He doesn't want to risk getting injured and put that in jeopardy. Who can blame him? Who can blame him? Shit happens all the time. You want to make sure you're protected before it does. We watched Brandon Ayuk do this same song and dance last year and then come back in 4 weeks into the season, tear his ACL. Shit happens. You want to be protected when it does. We watched Sam Cosmi go through all of camp last year, sign an extension, and then play the entire season and then tear his ACL. Shit happens. And you want to be protected if in case and in fact it does. Don't blame him. It just sucks because now here we are, right? And look, you can be upset at the way they do business, but that's the way they do business. Gregory Chiminti, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Greg writes, been a while, Lou. It has. As an outside perspective, it's unreal they haven't paid Terry. Like you said, there are ways around the contract. This is just stupid. I am absolutely mortified at the fact that they haven't been able to. Smart people, right? And again, I don't know what Terry's asking for. I don't know what Buddy Baker is, what battery he put in his back. I don't know what kind of negotiation tactics Buddy Baker is using here. But I find it hard to believe with all these smart people, especially on the commander side of things. They got a great cap guy that they stole from Detroit and Brandon Sosna. They got Lance Newmark. They have Adam Peters. All of these guys are very smart individuals. You're telling me you can't find a way to get your best player, not named Jaden Daniels, under contract for the next 2 to 3 seasons? You can't find a way to get an extension done? That's just hard for me to believe. It's ridiculous. Darius Kroom, 1. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Terry and a first to New York for Malik Neighbors. Yeah, right. the Giants wouldn't do that. They'd be stupid to do that. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'm sorry, Terry. Love you to death. But to get a talent like Malik Neighbors, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But the Giants wouldn't do that. That'd be a dumb move for them, right? Rush is Variety. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, I hate seeing Terry go through this. He's been through everything with this team, and now they got to do this. F that, he deserves better. This is the thing. And as fans, we get caught up in this. We get caught up in the narrative of what Terry's been through. This group doesn't give a shit about what Terry's been through. They weren't here for that, right? Just like they didn't care about Jonathan Allen and all that he had been through, and they cut his ass. He wanted to be traded, and then they cut him. They don't give a shit about what Terry's been through. They just care about what he's going to do in the future, as they should. That's how business is run. You don't pay a guy for what he's already done, although that does come into play, right? Especially in this situation. It should factor into your decision-making process, but you're more so weighing what is he going to do for us in the future moving forward as the life of this contract continues to age, and so does the player. And so that's what they're really focused in on. They don't care about, like, this isn't a lifetime achievement contract that they're looking to give him. This isn't a Mike Evans contract where it's a lifetime achievement contract. Like, you need to finish your career here. This is hey, we still think you can play at a high level. He still thinks he can be an elite receiver in this league. He wants that money. They want to give him this money. They got to figure out a way to make it make sense. It's a struggle right now. But it's really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. Really, really disappointing. Mr. Ron B., thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, OG triple OG Mr. Ron B. This negotiation has officially become awkward. Both sides need to cut the crap and strike a deal. And I kind of felt like it turned awkward when he did the Eastern Automotive's media scrum. That's when the shit turned awkward for me, OG. I'm at the point, once he did the hold in and we got him on a fake pup list for a phantom ankle injury. Now I'm like, okay, now we gotten to the point where y'all need to just cut the bullshit, sit down and hammer this shit out. So yeah, I think it got awkward when the Eastern Automotives, thing happened. That's when it turned awkward for me. But there was still time, right? Camp was still like a week away. There was still time. D for the win. Been a member for 15 months. Who writes, Lou, salute. Getting nervous, but I still trust AP. As do I. I'm not going to stop trusting him over this ordeal, even if it ends in a way that I am not happy about. I'm not going to stop trusting Adam Peters. I respect what this man has done already in a very short time. I love Adam Peters. I love what he stands for. It just sucks that we're here with a guy like Terry. If there's anybody that deserves this type of contract and deserves to be treated in a respectful manner, it's Terry McLaurin. And they know that. That's the part that's frustrating. They know the value that he has. They just don't want to be the first. Cut the shit and get it done. And that's the problem is, we say it like it's just them. It's also Terry's agent, Buddy Baker. And again, if they're asking for 35, if they got to be willing to move too, because they can't be asking for 35. They can't be asking for 34. At this point, I don't think you're even getting 33. And I felt like 33 was the number. The DK deal screwed everything up. It is what it is. I feel like 30 and some change should get it done. And if they're willing to come down to 30 and the team is willing to come up to 30, figure it out. And as I've said already, maybe you don't give him the, robust deal from an AVV standpoint, but all anybody ever really cares about is the guaranteed money. All that other shit is for the agent. You know, it's for aesthetics. Oh, it's 110 million. He ain't seeing 110 million. He only gonna see what them guarantees say he gonna see. So if the guaranteed money is the holdup, let's get the guarantees straight so we can get this shit done. 3-year, 90 million, and then give him 70 guaranteed. Let's go play ball. Like, figure it out. There's got to be a way that you can sweeten the pot, maybe throw in some incentive opportunities. If you clear this amount of yards, if you are a Pro Bowler, you're all pro, you get X amount of millions of dollars. Like, there's a way to sweeten this thing. Just get this shit done. Colin Talks Sports. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, a deal will get done. I still trust AP. This is the one thing that I wish he didn't bring from San Francisco. It's unfortunate, but we, as human beings, we are products of our environment, whether you like it or you don't, right? You grow up in a rough neighborhood, you have to learn how to be tough, right? So you're going to have some things that you ultimately, take from that neighborhood, and your skin might be a little thicker. You might be a little bit more short-tempered, or you might keep your head on a swivel because you had to, because of where you grew up at. There's just certain things that your environment is going to rub off on you, whether you like it or not. There are mechanisms that ultimately become a part of who you are, and things you put in place to protect yourself. And in this particular case, his environment was one of, we're going to play hardball. We're going to try to get the best deal we can get for our organization, which is what every organization should do. But sometimes it comes at the expense of doing things in a timely manner, pissing off the player, dragging a situation out, creating a distraction that you didn't need. I mean, look at the 49ers season last year. It was full of distractions that they created themselves. Same thing with Cincinnati. They do it every year. The Bengals do, it feels like. Create distractions that don't need to be there. And I feel like that's what we've done here. Create a distraction that we really didn't need. It sucks, but that's a part of who he is as a general manager. And again, it is what it is. I mean, we've seen him. He did it with Cosme last year. The big difference is Cosme was just like, I'm going to just play and let the shit take care of itself. Then he got the deal in September. Jack Taberley, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, isn't just sad, Lou. He said, isn't this just sad, Lou? I'm upset, man. Not 17. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Like I said, I'm not like upset. I'm not shocked at him requesting a trade. I'm disappointed that we're here. I'm just disappointed. I told y'all when the Eastern Motives automotive scrum happened, I said, watching that shit for me was sad. I'm watching a guy beg for something that we didn't feel like he should be in a position to have to beg for. So yeah, it's disappointing. Major Enlightenment, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, I don't like what's going on here, and it's just getting too messy. We need Terry, and Terry needs us, but I'm ready to move on from this no matter what. I'm not quitting on Terry. I'm not quitting on this situation. Ain't no way I'm going into the 2025 season as a fan without Terry McLaurin riding for this group. I'm not doing it. Because I went into this season talking Super Bowl. My aspirations are chip. That doesn't get done without 17. So no, I don't want this resolved at all costs, and that includes trading Terry. No, I don't want that. I want my dog riding like he's always done through the good, bad, and ugly. I want my dog riding because we trying to ride all the way to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, and I want my dog with me. So no, Major Enlightenment. I appreciate that you want to just put this shit behind us one way or another so we can move on. But I need my dog with me. I need my dog. Edward Washington. Been a member for 44 months. Salute. Who writes, what up, Lou? What's up, Eddie Dub? I'm with Peters on this one. And again, I'm not here to choose sides. I'm with the Commanders, right? And when I say that, I mean Terry's a Commander. Adam Peters is a Commander. I'm with everybody. I just want the shit to get done. I'm not choosing a side. We all family. Don't nobody win if we at odds. It ain't a side to be chosen here. I'm on the side of this shit getting done. Everybody here is a Commander. I'm on the Commander side on this one. Not Adam Peters. Not Terry McLaurin. They're both Commanders. I'm on the side of this shit getting done. Because at the end of the day, everybody in this thing is a Commander. So let's just get it done. Black Al B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Black Al B writes, what it do, Lou? What's going on, Black Al B? I thought the point of having a quarterback on a rookie was to pay your own homegrown guys and get free agents. Yeah, that's the goal. His situation is a little bit complex, though. You know, if Terry were 27, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He would have gotten his money already, and it would have been a done deal. If Terry was 28, this would have been done already. He would have gotten his money, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. He's about to turn 30 in a month. That's the problem. Is this extension doesn't kick in until the following year. And so you're talking about an extension starting at his age 31, essentially. And they're just like, yo, I mean, what do we do when with the 33, 34-year-old Terry McLaurin? And I'm like, there's got to be a way that you can make sure that if you're not happy with 33-year-old Terry McLaurin, you can get out. There's got to be a way. So just figure it out. Like, I can't imagine 30, 31, or 32-year-old Terry McLaurin not producing at a high level. I just don't see it. His game is going to age like Mike Evans. His game's going to age that way. Still going to put up 1,000 yards. You know what you're going to get. As he goes to 33, 34, okay, maybe there's a conversation to be had. But you can't convince me that over the next 3 years, Terry McLaurin still isn't going to be playing at a very high level. So they got to figure out what makes sense. Swaggy P. Been a member for 33 months. Who writes, prepare for the jersey swaps from the other teams, of course. Like, but they've been doing that for the longest, right? I mean, people always eyeballing his stuff, Swaggy P. Always. So, Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, I think Terry is here. Wish it never came to this. I never thought we would be here with Terry McLaurin. You couldn't have gotten me to believe that this situation could escalate to the point where he would feel the need to demand a trade. I never thought that would happen. Never thought that would happen. Edward Washington, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Eddie Dub writes, finally building something, and he's haggling over a few mil. He's gotten a payday before, recognized what's being built. To me, this is him putting himself over the team. You can't do that, Eddie Dub. You can't do that. You can't say to Terry, take less than what you think you're worth to help a team go try to win a Super Bowl. You can't ask him to do that. Like, guys in this league, and so here's something that I don't think a lot of y'all, either y'all don't know about, don't care about, or both. Players have a fiduciary obligation to set the next man up for success. When a player takes a lot less than what he is worth, that sets a bad precedent that the next team can then look at the blueprint and say, well, this guy did this. Again, all situations are different. But the goal for each player is to set the bar even higher so that the next guy can clear it. Understand that the NFLPA, the Players Association, these players essentially are all on the same team. They play for 32 different teams, but they're all on the same team, and that's the side of the player. If Terry McLaurin at age 30, which he's going to be here shortly, is able to get $30 million, he will be the first wide receiver of that age to receive that amount of money per year on average. That is the bar that he should be trying to set. If you're the Commanders, that is a bar you do not want setting. Right? You do not want that bar to be set on your watch, because the next guy that comes along is going to point to that and say, Terry McLaurin at age 30 got $30 million a year, so why can't I? And so there's a lot at play here. But at the end of the day, if you just want to reduce the focus and narrow it to just Terry, this is his last payday. This is the last chance for him to break the bank and set his family up, not for the foreseeable future, but for generations to come. This is the last chance for him to do that. So he's going to try and get every single penny that he can, and I don't blame him. I always tell you I side with the players in these negotiations because the sport that they play is a violent one. They make a lot of sacrifices. They spend a lot of money. We hear about these big contracts. Uncle Sam is reaching in their pocket and taking 48% of that shit before they even get it. So a lot of this money you think that they don't have. And they pay for a lot of other stuff out of pocket to help them play this game. I'm always going to side with the player. Get your money, man. Get your money. I don't see him putting himself over the team, because anybody on the roster that found themselves in this situation would probably be doing the same exact thing, trying to get their money. They understand that it's a business in that locker room. The players all say it and they mean it. They understand what it is. Abner Duran. Hey, what up, Ab? Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, what up? What's going on, Ab? Lou. He said, what up, Lou? Been a minute. It has. But I know what time it is, Ab. But now I'm pissed. I know, Ab. I understand the age, the Sutton effect, etc. But AP is messing up awfully. This was supposed to be people and family like culture. Yeah, and all of that is true, but money changes things. Money changes things. And as we're seeing right now, money has obviously changed this situation. I still believe there's a road to this getting done and all of this being forgotten about in 2-3 months' time. But right now, as we're living in it and going through it, it sucks. It sucks. All I want to do is wake up one morning and Terry McLaurin has signed a 3-year, $93 million, $70 million guaranteed deal extension. And I just want to move on. That's it. I just want to move on. Amir Barhalo, Barharlu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Amir writes, we can speculate all we want, facts, but there's nothing that I or any pundit out there can say or do that will change the front office's mind. I agree with that. That's what I said. I don't think Terry requesting a trade is going to change Adam Peters' mind. I don't think this is going to expedite the process, speed him up, or any of that. Like, his heels are dug in as well. He's under contract. I don't get to hold out at my job if I'm not happy. Yeah, but your job isn't professional football. People love to do I can't do this at my job. Well, your job's different. There's a lot of things that you do at your job that you can't do at other jobs because the two aren't the same. This is football. This is a part of negotiations within the realm of that sport. Right? In baseball, they have arbitration so that these types of situations don't happen, right? There are no holdouts in baseball because they have an arbitration system set up. In basketball, there are no holdouts. There are trade requests that happen all the time, though. We see them all the time, right? But football is unique. It's a different sport. Unlike the baseball sport that I just mentioned, unlike basketball, those are fully guaranteed contracts. Those guys get every single cent. Again, Uncle Sam is going to reach in and take his, but if they sign a $500 million contract after Uncle Sam reaches in and grabs his, 248, that other 252, that's all their money. Same with the NBA. NFL, it's not like that. So it's just different. And so, yeah, I get it. You couldn't do the same thing at your job, but we could say the same thing about your job and comparing it to another, industry and another job. I don't think it's going to change his mind either, though, Amir. I'm with you. I don't think this is going to make AP, perk up and go, you know what? Let's get this Terry deal done. It just sucks. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rocky D writes, Terry better be careful about this. AP might F around and get traded for a better player or first round pick. I wouldn't put it past AP to get a Chris Olave or Brock Bowers. Desperate teams do stupid things. Nah. You're not flipping Terry McLaurin for Brock Bowers. The man was an all-pro last year as a rookie and just set all kinds of rookie tight end, wide, receiving records last season. Raiders aren't trading him for Terry McLaurin. The Saints would trade him for Chris Olave, but I don't want Chris Olave. The man doesn't even know if he'll be able to play football. He's had so many concussions. Why would you do that? Those don't make sense, Rocky D. This is what this situation does. It takes rational people and starts to make them have irrational thoughts. Abner Durant, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. My guy Ab writes, now we know all the locker room means nothing for him more than just effing cattle, shaking my effing head. This is just disgusting. This was supposed to be different, but I could see Cousins, Trent Williams, and Sheriff all over again. And it's not that. And I get your frustration, Ab. I do. This ain't that, though. You know what I'm saying? This ain't that. But I get it. And the biggest difference is those guys didn't want to be here. Trent, you might have been able to convince to come back. If Ron would have went about it the right way with Trent, you might have been able to get him to come back here. Ron F that up, screwed that pooch. But Sheriff didn't want to be here. Kirk didn't want to be here. You could have got Kirk on a deal the year prior. They F that up. But that was all Bruce Allen. All of that shit we just discussed, all of it was Bruce Allen and Dan Snyder. This ain't that. This ain't that. And Terry wants to be here. But I get your frustration. I understand why you're mad and you're disappointed and you're angry and you're all of those emotions. I get it. Because we weren't supposed to be here. So I get it. Major Enlightenment. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Lou, I love Terry, but I'm a Commanders fan first. I hope Terry can see what we're building, but they're not trading him. I'm a Commanders fan too. I don't get attached to players. Like, I ride for the squad. However, Terry's one of us. He's one of us. And again, this show don't stop for nobody. They still practicing every day out at the park, right? There's still training camp practices taking place without Terry McLaurin. Like, the shit don't stop. He's aware. I'm aware. You're aware. Everybody's aware. Shit don't stop. But ultimately, I want him back in the fold. And as I've already said, Terry has no leverage. None. He's under contract. And they don't have to do anything. They don't have to trade him. They don't have to pay him. Next year, after this, they could franchise tag him. They don't have to do anything. But none of us want to see Terry frustrated. Right? None of us want to see that situation play itself out. Not our guy. Not El Capitan. We'll see. Darius Chrome 1. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? All I know is AP better not pull this nonsense with Jaden Daniels. He's not. And again, the circumstances surrounding Jaden are different. The situation will be different. Everything is different, and it's a different position. I'm also curious how players feel outside looking in. Terry do everything right. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I worry about that. I've talked about that, prior to this taking place, that you can't tell the locker room it's a brotherhood. We want you to do it the right way. And if you do it the right way, we'll take care of you. And then Terry does it the right way and you don't take care of him. That's hypocrisy at its finest. They have been as straightforward and as direct as one can be. They've been honest, forthcoming, compassionate. They've done everything you need to do to create the ultimate locker room and brotherhood. This one, if this doesn't have the resolution that it needs to, this could have a little bit of a ripple effect. I don't think it's going to be a big one, but it could, specifically for this year, have an impact. It could. Doug H. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Doug writes, I just survived a car crash yesterday, and now this. I'm all good, by the way. Minor injuries, but you and the Kings are lifting my spirits. Hey, man, we appreciate you, Doug. I'm so glad to hear that you're okay, man. Y'all be safe out here in these streets, man. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. I'm so glad to hear that you're okay, Doug. And I'm glad that we were able to help you kind of deal with everything and try to get back to some level of normalcy, man. Be careful out here. Prayers up for you, Doug. The Big NRG Company. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, This is poor business on both sides. I'll tell you, Lou, they may have been prepared and waiting for this request. They knew it was going to happen if things continued the way, like, again, this is not Adam Peters' first rodeo. Again, he'll sit there and tell you that he wasn't in the seat. He wasn't in the driver's seat in San Francisco, and that he wasn't like directly inside of those negotiations, but he knew everything that was going on. He saw how those things played themselves out. So this is his first time being in the big chair, though. But you see what it is. They knew the request was coming eventually. Major Enlightenment. Been a member for 47 months. Salute to you. Almost at 48. You and Rob, you are right there. He says, I respect it, Lou. We all family. Hashtag HTTC. Hashtag road to the Super Bowl 59. That's all I'm saying. That's my sentiment, is we all family, bro. At the end of the day, I just want this to be resolved and keep the family together the way that it's supposed to be. That's it. That's all. Silver Fox. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Guy Silver Fox writes, hey, Lou. What's up, Silver? Hope the fam is doing well. Likewise. That they are. I love Terry. I also trust AP. Something will get worked out. Disappointed, yes, but also cautiously optimistic. I think you just summed up how I feel right now. Love Terry. Trust AP wholeheartedly. I still think something's going to get worked out. Disappointed, yes, but also cautiously optimistic that something will get done. Abner Duran, my guy, Ab, been a member for 46 months. Salute, who writes, I know AP is a dog, and I'm glad he's with us as he is, but not with Terry. He's a Washington bulwark. AP versus Buddy Baker is the worst formula, a dog versus a delusional individual. I really think Buddy Baker is the holdup in these negotiations. I really think, like, I don't want to channel all my energy to one guy, but I think if Terry had better representation, I think this deal would have been done already. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. The big NRG company. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, big up, Lou, for keeping it all the way funky. Can't fault any man for standing on his value. At the end of the day, get what you can get while it's there to be got. And this is Terry's last opportunity, and I don't blame him one bit for trying to get everything that he feels like he deserves. It's also the agent's job to be realistic with their agent and their client. And I don't think Buddy Baker's doing that. And that's why we're at the point where we're at right now. Is I think he sold Terry a bill of goods. I think he put the battery in Terry's back, got this man, out here looking for an insane amount of money. And I don't know if Buddy Baker, and like Rio and others have said, he ain't never dealt with contracts of this magnitude before. He ain't never dealt with a contract negotiation, that has so much, riding on it. He ain't never been in this position before. I think he might be playing the game all wrong. But really appreciate you, the big energy company. Barrett Downing, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, BD, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, I ain't panicking, Lou. Like always, I wait and see. Respect. We know what it is, BD, man. It's gonna get resolved, man. We just gotta hang in there. It's tough, but we just gotta hang tough, bro. Lang Hughes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Lang Hughes writes, can't see a precedence of super overpaying players. Can't set, excuse me. Can't set a precedent of super overpaying players. And that's why something has to give on both sides. Nobody wants to. None of us feel like they should overpay Terry. Like, there's fans out there, just give him whatever you want. No, you can't do that. It's not how business works. That's not how we want our business conducted in this organization. You can't just give him what he wants. But it's got to be something within reason that can take place. That's all. Got to be something within reason. Mr. HTTR, been a member for 31 months. Really appreciate you. C-Trill, been a member for 20 months. Right. Been a while, Lou. It's all love, man. Good to hear from you. But I've been lurking. This shit is a mess. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. But it is a mess that can easily be cleaned up. Literally, grab some spray, all-purpose spray. Grab a paper towel, and we can clean this shit up very quickly. This can be rectified. We didn't just spill red wine on a white carpet. This is an easy mess that can be cleaned up, but both parties have to be willing to do the work. Anyhow, I appreciate all of y'all joining me. Y'all stay calm. This is going to be worked out. Terry's not getting traded. He's not going anywhere. I still believe a deal will be done at some point. But man, did this situation get messy for no reason. Feel like this shit was so avoidable. Yet here we are. Disappointing, very much so, but I'm not deterred. Very disappointed, however, but not deterred. I will talk to you guys later. I'm not sure. I'm going to check with the Commanders Kings. I think we might be doing a show, impromptu live show tonight. Stay tuned for that. If not, I'll probably see y'all after the Hall of Fame game, but G Willikers. Mr. HTTR, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, not worried at all. Commanders in 5. Ready for these LTN exclusives? Hashtag Birdman hand rubs. Living with Rella the Champ hasn't been easy, LOL. Hashtag HTTC. Oh, I bet. She's been giving you the business, bro. She's been letting you know every day who the champ is. And she has every right to do that. To the victors go to spoils, but I know you're ready to hit the reset button and make her have to defend that crown so you don't have to hear about it anymore. That time is vastly approaching, my friend. I am not worried either. Anyway, you guys enjoy the Hall of Fame game or whatever that product that we're about to witness is. And then I'll see you in its aftermath, assuming that we don't do the Commanders Kings. But either way, y'all take care. Don't fret. Art by Rapid. Been a member for 12 months. Happy anniversary, my friend. Who writes, where do you think we go from here with Terry? And do you think it will be awkward once Terry is back in the building once he is signed? He's already in the building. No, I don't think it's going to be awkward. All of this, all of the hard feelings, all of the animosity, all of that goes away if a deal's reached. it's only personal when it doesn't get done. Once it does get done, all of the feelings of not feeling wanted, not feeling appreciated, all that shit goes by the wayside. So I have no doubts that this is a situation that can easily be put behind everyone, all smiles from all parties involved, and we can move forward. It's just got to get done, right? I don't think there's irreparable damage being done and the relationship will never be the same. That's not the case. Just get the deal done and all of this goes away. All of this goes away. Don Everhart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, and thank you for your generosity, man. I really, truly appreciate you, Don. Can't thank you enough. My guy, Don, thank you so much for the generous donation, man. Can't thank you enough for the support. Let me just check the comment section to see if Don had anything to say. Okay, I don't see anything, but really appreciate you, Don. In any event, that's going to do it for me, your man, Louie T. Let me check my phone before I get out of here because, you know, normally when I get off, something happens. Looks like everything's still intact and in order. So with that said, Jason Fios, been a member for 40 months. Salute, who writes, this is bullshit. Terry is not a 34 mil receiver, but he's worth more than 27 million. Both sides need to swallow their pride and meet in the middle. That's all that any of us have been advocating. Is can't we get to a number that makes sense for both parties? And this is where you start looking at both sides and feeling like if the agent isn't a good negotiator, if he's not willing to concede certain things, then a deal won't get done if you have a team and a general manager like Adam Peters who will stand on business. If you're not going to meet me halfway, if you're not even trying, well, then I'm going to just stay where I'm at. So, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Y'all know what it is, man. Until next time, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. And remember, just as a quick aside, Commanders Kings live August 24th, Crystal City Sports Pub in Arlington, Virginia. Come on out, meet the Kings live and in color, in person. Gonna have a great time. We'll have a lot to discuss. Hopefully, we won't be having these Terry McLaurin discussions when that takes place. But link to this to get your tickets in the description of this video. If you're out there, mods, drop the link in the comment section as well. Looking forward to meeting all of you and having a great time. So, with that said, I'm out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. You probably will see me again, to be honest with you, in some way, shape, or form. Very disappointed, but once again, not deterred. This is going to get done. Terry isn't getting traded. He's not going anywhere. He's a Commander for life. See you guys next time. Peace.